Two, three, four, five. Oh, there we go. Right, can I have everybody's attention, please? Thank you very much. Right. Welcome. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Kaizer Chiefs Derby Press Conference right here at Voda World. And it is indeed a pleasure to be here. My name is Mo Flavor from Metro FM, and I'm honored to be here. I thought I wouldn't give it away today, but this tie just sort of gives it away. As a Kaizer Chiefs fan, it is indeed a pleasure to be here to fly through proceedings this day. Now, obviously, it's a big day because it represents what's coming up this weekend. But before I even get started, a special welcome to some of our representatives from Vodacom. I'd also like to welcome staff and coaches from both clubs, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. Welcome. The players, of course, I see some of them sitting in the front. And to you, members of the media. This press conference is all about the Soweto Derby. That's what it's all about. And it's quite a sensational one because there's a lot of history involved. We're talking, 156 games here. But of course, as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, I'm proud to say that of those 156, we have won 67 of them, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Pirates, of course, coming in with considerably less. But I think it's very important to mention also the legacy, and that we're talking years and years of Soweto derbies, 45 years. So, this coming weekend we'll be literally celebrating 45 years of Soweto derbies, which I think is absolutely sensational. But it has to be said as well that we go into this derby with a lot of fire and electricity. And of course, when you think about the fact that both clubs have come from contrasting results in the last couple of games, it just sets it up beautifully for what it should be in a sensational derby. The pressure is there, the fans want goals, the fans want 3 points. I'm really looking forward to see what ultimately happens on that day, this coming Saturday. Just a couple of house rules. Obviously, this is a non-smoking venue. There are some toilets outside there. And very importantly, with phones, my phones are on silent. So please, can we have all phones on silent? But I do urge you to tweet away. In fact, you can follow at Kaizer Chiefs on Twitter. Of course, as a football club, we have a very large following on social media. You can find them on Facebook. And if you're big on Instagram, it's KC Official. And of course, do the right thing, click that follow button and tweet away throughout this morning. Right, now that we've gotten those formalities out the way, I'd like to welcome our first speaker, who is the brand and sponsorship manager from Vodacom, that is Rowan Gangulu.
Members of the two teams, the media, our live streaming audience, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with great honor and humility that we welcome you welcome you all to Vodacom World, the second home of our two clubs. This is always an exciting time of the year. Not only do we get to experience the first Soweto derby of the PSL season, but it is also around this time when Vodacom gets to launch its summer campaign 2015. On the weekend, scores of fanatical soccer fans will descend on Johannesburg to watch the two biggest football rivals in local soccer play against each other in a game that is at best of times sees the country divided. Vodacom has made a commitment to bring fans closer to their teams, this not only for Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, but also for other soccer lovers in the country. The live streaming of this press conference is just one of the platforms that we are using to bring fans closer to their teams. To launch our soccer campaign, 10 lucky fans will stand a chance to win prizes worth 100,000 rands at the stadium. This is one way we help make summer days happy days for our customers this festive season. Prizes will range from prepaid airtime to mobile handsets and other devices. This once again talks back to our promise of rewarding fans and subscribers. Fans that will arrive early at the stadium will have the opportunity to interact with us at Vodacom Fan Zone, which will be stationed just inside the stadium precinct. Fans will be able to choose to participate in fun activities and competitions and win airtime and other prizes. Lucky supporters will receive upgrades courtesy of Vodacom. These upgrades will include tickets to the Super Suites, new Kaizer Chiefs jerseys, and mobile devices. I would like to thank you all for coming out here today. And to all those fans watching on our Vodacom YouTube channel, thank you. Vodacom believes that fans are an important part of the game, as the players are and administrators. and we look forward to rewarding you every time your team wins. So make sure you follow at Vodacom Soccer for updates for the match. Good luck to both teams. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Now, as Kaizer Chiefs, I mean, it's been a season driven by what's been happening in the past. A great performance last season. We've been highly motivated. We've been inspired. And this season, we truly are driven to excel. And that is the theme. That is what we represent this season. And with the coming games, and especially the derby this coming weekend, it certainly will be something that is shown on the field. And hopefully 3 points in the bag. The players are revved up. I had a conversation with a couple of them earlier. So we are looking forward to what should be an excellent showcase of great South African football. I mean, these are two giants. These are teams that are among some of the best derbies in the world every time they are together. So truly, I'm looking forward to that. Up next, I'd like to welcome the Corporate Communications Manager of Kaizer Chiefs, Mr. Vina Maposa.
Mo, you've got a face for radio, not for TV. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'd like to start by, of course, endorsing and thanking our main sponsor, Vodacom. Rowan, speaking after you really is really stepping on the shoulders of a giant. But a special mention would like to obviously go to Memusidi Soweto, the brand director at Vodacom. We're excited to be here. Of course, staging this event at Vodacom just simply means that we're deepening this relationship. And at this stage, I'd like to welcome our arch rivals, Orlando Pirates, Eric Tinkler, and your two C robbers. Of course, I've brought, Coach Compella Coat, as well as our two glamour boys, that is Mangele and Bennett Parker. As Kaizer Chiefs, as you know, we turned 45 this year. We were born in 1970. But what is important to us, this calendar month represents the birth of our chairman, our leader, and Tate Kaizer Chincha Guluva Motaung. And for that, we'd like to appreciate the moment and also to acknowledge the fact that this derby happens during this month that is critical in our calendar. Of course, Mo mentioned some of things that talk to us every season. We have a theme that we drive, and this season is no exception. We are driven to excel, and we talk about success, motivation, we are inspired, and of course, Kaizer Chiefs, as you know, from birth, it gives hope. Started in Pefeni, one man with others, of course, his compatriot, starting what is a giant today, a colossal brand of note that is continuing to develop all the time. We have been working hard, and through our marketing department, as a team, we have, of course, at the start of the season, we have strategized, but in the strategy, there will be those areas that are, of course, asterisked and italic as well as bolded. And this is one of them. This is one of the events that is very important in our calendar. When you start with the season and you get fans calling, asking for the fixtures, sometimes they don't even ask for the whole fixture list. They are looking for the derby match. So it is a special occasion. It's a big event. South Africa will be stopping on that day and watching football. We will be united in one excitement that is bringing people together. If you recall, football, of course, in South Africa, especially when the two teams meet, you're talking about happiness index, and it's going to be affected. Either way, some will be sad by the results, others will be happy by the results. But what is very important, we as Kaizer Chiefs, we pride ourselves in the fact that we're not all about football and play. We're about a lifestyle. We're about entertainment and making South African football look good, rather. If you look at the trends from the start of the season, we went to PE, we went to Polokwane, we went to Bloemfontein, we went to Holland Park, Potchefstroom, Muruleng, you name all the places, including Cape Town and Bloemfontein, chock-a-blocked. And for that, I'd like to, of course, thank our players as well as our coach for the sterling performance. Of course, that is, there is no way that the fans can vote with their heart and money to come to the stadium. We haven't seen this unprecedented support that we've seen this season over the past few years. And we are happy to see supporters coming on board. But remember, this weekend we're turning it up. Just to highlight a few, of areas that we are pushing at the moment. We've started long ago to pass on the messages of supporters to buy tickets, and we are happy to announce that tickets that are left at this stage, there are just above 6,000 tickets, but would like you to assist to pass the message that the 60 rands tickets are sold out. Only 80 rands and 150 rands tickets are still available, and I'm sure they will be finished today. And if you talk about developments at Kaizer Chiefs more, just adjustment on the Instagram, our address there will be KCFC official. More missed out only on FC. We are a football club. And you know that we are unparalleled when it comes to digital space. When you find us on Twitter, you'll find that our numbers perhaps are bigger than most of the brands that you find in South Africa, let alone if you speak about sports, we will be at the top. We're growing every day on Twitter, over 2 million. And of course, if you remember and you assist us as well as media, you let people be aware that we've changed our address, that is our handle on Twitter is no longer at Kaizer_Chiefs, it is just at Kaizer Chiefs. And Facebook is straight Kaizer Chiefs, as well as YouTube, Web TV as well. In closure, building up to this occasion, we're starting tomorrow. We are informed that our supporters from the coast, Cape Town, Durban, they are already on their way. Streams of buses are coming to gather at the village. We are prepared with Vodacom to host the supporters. The village will look like FNB tomorrow. We've got the store manager is here and informed me that there are specials that are going on. If you buy our 2014 and 2015 jersey of the previous season, you will get, obviously, a chance to get tickets to the derby. And going forward, just here at Vodacom, and thanks once again to Vodacom, we've got a pop-up store where earlier on our coach and the players visited, and it was Razmataz. Supporters were there, and they were excited to take pictures with the coach and so on. Without further ado, and at this stage, I'd like to thank Orlando Pirates for joining us, members of the media, and our Kaizer Chiefs contingent that is here, and more especially Vodacom. Let's have a great time. It's exciting times. Be part of it and be part of this journey. And let us be driven to excel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vina. I will be bringing you back again later to talk about the logistics around security and safety. But right now, I'd like to move on to the exciting part, where we get to speak to the coaches and the players. So first up, I'd like to welcome on the panel, Kaizer Chiefs head coach, Steve Komphela, as well as the senior player in the team, Bernard Parker, please. If you can join me on my right. Thank you. And of course, we are hosting members from the Orlando Pirates team. So I'd like to welcome at this point the Pirates head coach Eric Tinkler. And he's certainly not alone. He's got his soldiers as well, one of them being Kermit Erasmus. And I also need to acknowledge Edward Manqele of Kaizer Chiefs, of course, as one of our new signings, and he certainly has been playing well. Manqele, I heard it click somewhere in the crowd there. Yes, Manqele. And he's been playing very well. He just needs to find the back of the net. Welcome, brother. And of course, from Orlando Pirates, another soldier, Ayanda Gaba as well, who's sitting on my left. We see you, brother. We acknowledge you. Now, I'd like to ask a couple of questions here, but I'll stick to one for now. Just looking at the game, Coach Komphela, I mean, obviously, we come from a high with the win during the week. Is that always a bad thing in terms of saying, well, players are now feeling like they are hitting a groove? Do you feel that with the few games into the season, we've hit the right groove ahead of the derby match?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mo, and good morning, or good afternoon, one should say. You wouldn't know, but what defines the answer comes from the encounter that it's a derby. And from all the statements one has gone through, when you do a bit of a research in response to this occasion, is that whatever the result, it counts for nothing. That we have won, we still have to go through the one on Saturday. Even if we had lost, it would be a different way of thinking. But I must also be quick to acknowledge the fact that it's a big occasion. But to us as technicians, both players and coaches, we focus on the game, allow everybody else to enjoy the occasion, but our focus is in the match.
And obviously with you being new to the derby in this sense, I mean, what sort of mindset do you go as a coach into a game like this?
You don't want to be drowned in emotions and thoughts that you cannot control. You just take it to be one of the matches where you have a heavy responsibility to win. And also understanding that where we are, even a win is not sufficient. It is winning something. Matches you win, but up until you win something, the pressure is on, which is what we enjoy.
I'm going to bring in your soldier here, Bernard Parker. The fans want a win. There's a lot of pressure, and people want to see more and more goals. Now, you're a very instrumental player in the Kaizer Chiefs attack, sort of going forward. Preparation, just building up to this game, you know, mentally and physically, how's that been coming along for you?
Yeah, thanks, Mo. It's been coming great. I think since the month of October has started, the vibe and the hype has been going on about the derby. As for us Kaizer Chiefs, I'm sure the same goes for Orlando Pirates. Every game we play, we make sure it's a spectacular. Now with the two giants of South African football clashing this weekend, for us it's more important. The 3 points, it's more important, and it's for us to go out to perform, make it a spectacular, and for us the lads up front is to whoever gets the opportunity to play is to grab it with both hands and make sure we go all out.
I mean, there are some new players in the setup, and obviously it remains to be seen who will start. What sort of conversations are happening amongst the new players and the likes of yourself, who's obviously got a lot of experience with derbies?
Oh yes, definitely. The new players that came in, they honestly, Mo, they're very excited to be associated with us. Because we're a team of winning trophies, and for the past years we've been winning trophies. We must out on the MTN 8. We're looking forward into the next cup, and we're looking forward in being PSL champions again. The guys are very excited. I'm with the front line with the front line, the strikers, the new guys that came in are more closer to Abrao. Abrao is very excited, and I'm sure that excitement and that motivation will do good for us.
Certainly. Well, listen, all the best of luck, gentlemen, to the both of you, and hopefully you will bring it home. I do have to add to members of the media that there will be a one-on-one session after the press conference. So, yes, you will get an opportunity to speak to the head coach and some of the players. I'm going to move over to my left to the team that we are hosting, Orlando Pirates. Coach Tinkler, you know, it has been said, obviously, about the results from yesterday. Perhaps a lot has been said. But a derby is a different animal, isn't it? Your approach going into this game with all factors considered?
Yeah, obviously it's a total different kettle of fish. The derby is a complete different game. The mindset of the players is completely different. The focus is there. Every player is looking forward to playing in the derby. Every player holds up his hand, wanting to be selected. makes our jobs as coaches obviously a lot easier because the players are highly motivated. They enjoy the fact that they're playing in front of 80 to 90,000 spectators, which is not something you see every week. And, you know, it's just what I hope for as a coach is that we can put on a good spectacle of football. And obviously that we come out with the right result.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring in Kermit on this because, I mean, as a player who's risen to the occasion before with derbies, are you excited about the game ahead in terms of saying, well, this is another opportunity for you to show what you're truly made of?
Yeah, most definitely. And I think not only me, the rest of the team also. It's all about who ends the game and earning the bragging rights, and that's what we're all looking forward to. We're looking for a good entertainment match and an open match where a lot of attacking football will be displayed and also for the fans to enjoy.
Mm. And Coach, I'm just going to bring you quickly. Once again with you guys as well, some new players on the side. You know, how do you get them ready for a game like this?
Well, you know, as I've stated, a lot of those players have lived their lives as young boys wanting to get this opportunity and experience this occasion that they're going to experience over the weekend. All we can do is really guide them and help them. You know, me as the coach, obviously the more experienced players who've been there and who have experienced it, you know, they need to guide them and help them, you know. It's obviously, you'll probably find guys who've never been there that they get a bit of stage fright before the game, but you know, having experienced it myself, you know, once the game kicks off, all of that, you know, fades into the darkness.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to Orlando Pirates this coming weekend, and hopefully you guys will put a performance that you're going to be proud of after the 90 minutes, and the other players as well. Gents, certainly good luck, and to the coaching staff as well. Before I bring Vina back up here, we do have something from Vodacom.
Next big soccer star. Have a go, Dad. Check out my brother Trevor at #TrevorTT. And now, everyone else does too.
Find him. Go get him.
Let the bidding wars begin.
Change the game with South Africa's best network. Vodacom, power to you.
Well, I can only imagine how many youngsters around the country would have loved to have been in that TV commercial. Certainly my son would have given anything to be in there. Right, Vina Mapos, I'd like to bring you back up to discuss issues around logistics, security, and safety.
Let's remove logistics out of the way so that we can talk matters football. Thank you for the opportunity once more. Colleagues, preparations have been done, and I'm told by the stadium management and other people that are involved that the stadium is ready to host this magnificent game on Saturday. I'm going to run through some of the logistics, but most of them will be on our websites, stadium management websites, as well as our social media. Very importantly is to confirm that the match is kicking off at 3:30 Dara. Please, let's not make a mistake on that one. We opening the gates at 11 o'clock. That is on Saturday. The tickets have been selling at CompuTicket, ShopRite, Checkers outlets nationwide, and they've been going at a price of 150 and 80 rands as well as 60 rands. There are different parking categories as well. You've got just general parking for 30 rands, and we ask media to assist us to let the public buy the parking tickets. It's very important, and of course, when you park, make sure that you park at areas that are within the management of the stadium, lest you lose your car and you can't claim it back easily. And we will also have other areas to park, more especially for disabled parking. You buy the ticket for 50 rands as well as at CompuTicket. It is also important to note the following. That Metro Rail will be supplying their services as usual from Pretoria. We've got Springs, Vereeniging, and of course, mentioning point by point will take the whole day, but just for supporters to check on their media as well as the two clubs, of course, will share some of this media information. To reiterate, is Pretoria, Johannesburg, Springs, Vereeniging. That is where Metro Rail will be operating. Top 6 taxis, always there as well. It will be operating from the CBD as well as MTN Taxi Rank, Maponya Mall, Moroka Police Station, Kliptown. These are some of the areas including Meadowlands as well as Dube Station, Taxi Rank. Fast track to some of the services provided. We've got KTK shuttles. They will be providing the minibus shuttle service on the day that is from Park Station to Nasrec. And check out for Rea Vaya. Rea Vaya will be there as well, operating traffic to the stadium. That is from around 1 o'clock, and anywhere where you've got routes of Rea Vaya around the stadium precinct and Soweto, you'll be able to get access to the stadium with ease. And check out also for traffic control through traffic management, and there will be also roads that will be closed. It is important to note some of those routes that will be closed, and access points will include notably the N17 will be one of the major access points. Be careful that N1 North will be closed at some of the points. All that will be read through media as well as social networking. Importantly, in the stadium, we appeal to the fans not to stand on the rails that is just closer to the pitch. If you fall there, there is no way that you will return. You'll get injured or you'll be hospitalized. So kindly pass the message that also on the aisles, that is on the stands, if supporters can make space for safety reasons, sit on their allocated seats and leave that space in case of emergency. Having said that, thanks very much, colleagues. We are ready. We'll be on radio, we'll be on TV, we'll be on websites, we'll update our websites to make sure that this information is updated, and we appeal to media to share it with the public. It is a very important occasion. South Africa will be standing still. The score will be updated at churches on Sunday as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vina. And of course, as he pointed out earlier, that Kaizer Chiefs is massive in terms of digital engagement, something we pride ourselves with, certainly. Very big on YouTube. You can actually check out KaizerChiefs.com for all types of audiovisual material and stuff. But also, interestingly, and looking at television, some exciting things happening around Kaizer Chiefs TV. And I see there's a new show which actually starts today, I'm told, that you don't want to miss. They're going to be going down memory lane with the Kaizer Chiefs legend Pele Blaszke, and of course Bernard Parker is said to be featured in that new show as well. So it's about being driven, and it's about excelling and just striving for excellence, no doubt. Right, now before we go into our question session, we have a couple of questions that have come in via Twitter on Vodacom and Kaizer Chiefs' hashtag. If we can just pull those up quickly and see what those social media questions look like. And hopefully then we can move over to questions from the media. Right, question for Bernard Parker. Eita Hond, what is your preferred position, and are you having a plan on how to break down pirates? Hond, do you have a plan?
The coach's got a plan, huh? To play according to instructions, huh? My favorite position is shadow striker, behind the striker, which I enjoy a lot. For the guys who's been following football since back in the days, it's number 10, the number 10 role, and from the past games I've seen Orlando Pirates, going between the fullback and the centre back, there's a lot of space on the side. So if Coach Eric is not, if Coach Eric is gonna fix that, then there will be other ways to break them down. But I'm very excited. If I get the chance to throw on the jersey, I'll be up for the challenge.
Brilliant. And that question came in from @pat_money_8. So you might want to find them on Twitter and follow them back, huh? Right. Question for Coach Kompela. Where does he think the team still needs to improve, and how does he want them to play? That's a question from @Thai_Kwalo.
I think from a playing perspective, what do you call that? Attractive attacking football. That's what we want. You win and win and win in style. We're trying to get there. With regards to the first part of the question, the improvement is just to convert the draws into wins. I'm sure that would be very important for us.
All right, short and sweet. And yes, Coach, I'm sure if you go on Twitter, you can find @Thai_Kwalo and just follow back. Another question, for the coach again, the hot seat. How is Kompela going to make sure that goals are more for the game and we need for the derby? I'm not quite sure what that question is looking like, but I would imagine that it's got to do with the goal scoring in the games.
Well, the responsibility is on the coaches here, both left and right. We've got strikers here. I'm sure that question should be directed at them. But the excitement of football is inside the box. Anytime there's any box entries, there's anxiety, there's excitement. Maybe the question is based on the history and background that these matches tend to be so tight that they are a 0-0 or 1-1. Our supporters would love to see goals. I'm sure Coach Eric and I will have to go out there and decide that it should be 5-4, but Chiefs should be on 5.
Listen, nine goals would be absolutely exceptional. I think a lot of people would be very excited about getting 9 goals in a derby. That would be really fantastic. So I think the pressure is on the gents in the house about that. Right, I think that's going to be all for Twitter for now. And at this point, we'd like to open the floor for the members of the media to obviously pose questions to the coaches and, of course, the players. We do have roving microphones that will be going around. So, of course, when you get your opportunity, you can go ahead and ask the question.
Mzimasi Mgebisa, SABC Sport. This question, I'll just ask a question to both coaches. I'll start with you, Eric. Yesterday, another defeat for Orlando Pirates. One, and I want us to be frank with each other, are you feeling under pressure? 2, have you had a chat with the chairman of Orlando Pirates as to where the club stands at the moment? You know, you are in the final of a continental championship, you are in the semi-finals of a major local competition, and obviously there's a dichotomy there because the league performance is just not there. So are you feeling under pressure, and have you had a chat, and where does the chairman of Orlando Pirates stand? Steve Kompela, yourself as well, I mean, you speak about the fact that you're wanting to convert draws into wins. There's been a lot of pressure under you. I mean, Kaizer Chiefs is a massive club. Obviously, you came into the job knowing that very well. Going into a game like Saturday, I mean, and it's a game that makes and breaks a lot of players. How are you approaching the game in terms of winning over the supporters? Because there's still doubts that are still there, irrespective of how marvelous your record is in terms of, I mean, Maritzburg United is a case in point. You left there where they are, Free State Stars, you know, I mean, we can go on and on, but the fact of the matter is that there are still doubts that are there. How do you approach that game and make sure that people are able to eventually be won over?
Yeah. Answer the first part of your question. There's always going to be pressure as a coach, particularly of a big team, such as Orlando Pirates. Obviously, our league form has been poor in terms of the points that we've been collecting, and that obviously adds extra pressure. But that comes with a job, and I cannot allow that to affect me. What I need to do is continue believing in what I am doing is right, and I think I think that bears testament to how we've been doing on the Confederations Cup. We didn't get there by luck. We got there by doing the right things, good preparation, good work. And all we need to do now is obviously transfer that into our league form. Answer the second part of your question? As yet, no.
Coach?
Thanks, Mo. Mhlekazi, sinem yam ndingukompela. Ewe. I don't think I have a responsibility to win over the supporters. They love this club. They love the brand. And the only thing that can make you feel more at home is at the back of winning trophies. As we said earlier on, you could win matches. They would still get a feeling of, but we champions. We won 2 trophies last season. We want to win trophies. And I'm part of that. I must also acknowledge the fact that we've gone 6 wins, 6 draws, and only 1 loss, unfortunately, in the MTN Cup final. But Mzi, you can't stand here and say, but look at this. No, that's not, you can't justify that. All you need to do is to knuckle down, focus on your job, and do what you think you can do best. The rest of the other things you cannot control. You let go. But I'm optimistic with time, those can change. The fact that whoever is in favor had to do something, they bought enough credit. And those who are not in favor, to gain favor, you'd need to buy credit.
Right, do we have another question? Thanks, Coach. All right, go ahead. Is the mic not?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is to Kermit and Bennett, as strikers, both of you. Kermit, yesterday you missed a clear-cut chance after the goalkeeper and the defenders both fell down. And there's no game in between before you play Chiefs on Saturday. How do you bring back that confidence to say, I'm going to play in the derby and I should do better? And to Bernard, as you've said, you're playing more or less like a second striker with Abrao and Jabu in front of you, Edward in front of you. How do you look at their combination? Do you think Chiefs have found the right combination this season?
Well, for me as a striker, you're going to miss chances, irrespective of how many chances you miss. That's irrelevant. So for me as a striker, I just focus on the next game and on the next chance that I get. And last night wasn't meant to be, and as you saw, I missed an open goal, and just to focus on the next game and on the chances that will come my way. So for me, it doesn't really affect me in any way because I know my capabilities and what I can bring to the team.
All right, Bernard?
Yeah, yes. With the combination, both Jabo and Abrao is new. I'm not sure. I think at Free State they also just missed each other, never played together. And as you can see, as game by game, as time goes on, the strikers are starting to score now. The combinations are becoming more clearer in terms of how we combine in the last third. And I'm definitely confident, and I'm definitely believe that as game by game, as time goes on, we'll get better, and I believe there's a lot more to come.
Right, thanks, Bernard. Any other questions? Right.
To Coach Tinkler Morena from EWN Sport. You have a busy November coming up, Kaizer Chiefs again next week, the final in the CAF Confed, and then somewhere in the middle you've got IS Cape Town should that game go on. How important will this game be to kickstart that momentum for you to grab the wins in all these important games that you've got coming up?
Very important. You know, and I think the players are well aware of that. We've been obviously discussing it for a couple of weeks now. It's very important that we get back to our winning ways. You know, leading up to obviously the important games as you just mentioned. This is a massive game for us. Not only the fact that it's the derby, it's 3 points that
It's
are
not-
very important for us right now. We need to get the 3 points, which is very important. And then obviously we got the Telkom against Chiefs again, and then we got, as you stated, the Confederations Cup final, which is something we obviously want to win. You know, so it's a massive month for us at the club, and it's very important that you know, we get back to our winning ways as soon as possible.
Thanks, Coach. Any other questions? There's one at the back.
Sorry?
Yes, go ahead, brother.
Okay, you can hear me, that's fine. It's Max here, Max Ndlovu from Test 360. Coach Steve, I think I can just say to you, your team is doing well, according to what I've seen personally. But you know, people tend to differ. But I would say you have done so well, so up to now. And then Coach Eric, your players, do you think they are concentrating more on the Champions League than the league that they are supposed to be concentrating more on at the moment? Their focus. Do you think they are focusing more on the Champions League than on the league?
Yeah, Confederations Cup, not Champions League. You know, I'd be stupid to answer that in the back of the mind that is not there. That is obviously going to be there, because we've qualified for the final of a massive CAF competition, a competition that the club has never won before, a competition that these players have never won before. So to say that that's not there would be a lie. Obviously it's there. But I've stated this in the media before. You know, we're professional footballers. And as such, there's more competitions that we play in than just the Confederations Cup. We've got the league, we've got the Telkom, we've got the Nedbank. You know, there's still a lot to play for this season. And, you know, the players need to understand that, and they need to be able to adapt and turn their focus onto whatever competition that we're playing in. That's very important.
Thanks, Coach. Any more questions? There's another question at the back.
My name is Mhlengi from East Coast Radio. To both coaches, it's not. I think it's the first time seeing, you know, Pirates and Chiefs coached by both local coaches in the derby, both former Bafana Bafana players. Is there any brother that, you know, coming to the game? Do you guys have maybe a secret of each other from the camp while you were together, or you know, you just know each other as colleagues? Thank you.
Maybe I should start with Coach Steve.
Yeah, it's more as colleagues, and I know how competitive my colleague, the other side, had been as a player, and I'm sure there's quite a few things that he knew about me or he knows about me from our playing days. But one thing that I said to him earlier on, which obviously we share the same platform, that whatever he goes through is a lesson for me as well. Most of his weaknesses are to me strengths. When I see him go through certain challenges, I step back and say, if I were to go through that, how would I then behave? So it gives me more of information. I read from what he goes through so that I can get better. But from playing times, he was one hell of a good player.
Thanks, Coach. Coach, he said a lot of nice things about you there.
No, Steve and I, we go back a long way. In fact, I remember it was 93, I think the Australian tour. Steve, if I'm not mistaken, that was our first opportunity to actually be together. And immediately I came to learn that, you know, yeah, you got an extremely humble person, humble guy, fantastic footballer, fantastic leader, a person that people would listen to, and someone that you could actually learn from. You know, he was obviously my senior. I was a new upcoming player in the national team. And he gave me quite a bit of guidance, particularly when we had our conversations in Australia at the time. You know, so, you know, my feelings towards him is no different to the feelings he has towards me. He's done exceptionally well as a coach at the clubs that he's been, and I think he obviously deserves to be where he finds himself right now.
Thanks, Coach. Any more questions from the media?
Lamula Herald, Ibola Labantu.tv. the coach directed to Kaizer Chiefs coach. Coach, Kamaldino Abrao, good things we're fighting for, which I think is a true testimony to that. The boy has been getting goals. Did you have any word with him ahead of the derby match over the weekend?
Coach, yes, you can go ahead.
I think we always have our chats, but what is more important is the comfort and the company he keeps. When his teammates are more comfortable playing with him, he's going to give more to this club. And the fact that the club went out of its way to get this quality player was testimony. And I'm happy that, as Parker said earlier on, that understanding is getting there, and goals are coming, confidence will grow, belief will be there, faith will be there, results will come.
Thanks, Coach. Any more questions?
Okay, I think mine is the last question. My name is Tabiso Mosia from Power FM. Coach Eric. Coach Eric, I'm not sure what the joke is, but Coach Eric, can you give us an update on Happy Jele? And if he's out, who's going to be your captain considering what happened last night? Do you know who your captain will be for Saturday?
As yet, I can't give you an assessment on Happy. I know he went for a scan. I have a technical meeting now at 1:30, which is in half an hour's time, and I will be updated by the medical team then in terms of what the situation is with Happy Jele. And also, I will be able to then obviously sit with the technical team, look at who we have available in terms of the guys that might be coming back from injury. The assessments gets done on the players from last night because we have a training later this afternoon, and then those decisions will be made.
Right, thanks, Coach. Any other questions? That all? One more.
That's me. Temba Shabalala, Jose FM Sports. That was a good exchange of history between two coaches, but I hope that's not the case on Saturday, because we really want to see a flowing game with results. It's just a plea to you gentlemen to have a beautiful game. A quick one to Coach Tinkler. Injuries seem to be on your case. About 4 to 5 key players are out of the game. And looking from last night, the Orlando Pirates supporters don't actually like the introduction of new players, from what I've gathered from where I was sitting yesterday. How are you planning to fix that? And as well as to Coach Steve, now that you've got your front men doing the job, you're getting goals on every game from the strikers, you still have that little challenge at the back. How are you looking at fixing that, knowing that the likes of Kermit can be lethal on their day? And how are you looking at bringing that up on board? To the program director, I wish I could say congratulations on your new Kaizer Chiefs job, because you speak well about Kaizer Chiefs. But in the media circles, when you do the stats, stick to the stats. Kaizer Chiefs have won it 475. Pirates, you never told us how many times.
I think it's 36, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you. We always have to finish the report when you do our reports.
I will assume, with all due respect, that you're probably a Pirates fan. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. Eric Tinkler, response to the gentleman's question.
Obviously, we are plagued at the moment with a few, or more than a few injuries, which obviously means that players that haven't been regulars or players that have joined us this past season are getting their debuts. You know, point in fact, Yasa Mugewa, Mpom Valazi, Roger Majafa, Gift Motupa, all players that have joined us recently and have all had an opportunity to be in the starting lineup for Orlando Pirates. Difficult for me to answer that, because when you have these injuries, obviously you've got to look at the rest of the players that you have around you, and those players get assessed. We watch them every day in training. We watch them in the friendly matches. We assess whether we think that they are ready or not to actually go into the starting lineup. But sometimes you have no choice because obviously the injuries or suspensions, and that's all you have, and you have to basically go with it, you know. So at the moment, I think everybody who's come in, you know, they've worked extremely hard. I think in terms of the fans, I think they need to give them a little bit more support because it's not easy coming to play for Orlando Pirates, you know, particularly for the younger guys. You know, they need a little bit of time to adapt and get used to playing for the team. So I think a little bit more support from the fans would be greatly appreciated towards the players. They can take out all their anger and frustrations against me, but don't take it out on the players.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Steve?
Thanks, Mo. Shawa, I think scoring goals is an individual task. And strikers are meant, or when we buy strikers, we say we're looking for somebody who's going to score goals. And when that does not happen, obviously we immediately point at them. But one must also acknowledge the fact that when they cannot take them, it means they make them. And we've seen a whole number of goals scored at Chiefs coming from different angles and scenarios, whether it be from set pieces, whatever, a whole lot of players score at Chiefs. We're happy about that. Now, with regards to the defense, I don't know, I'm a bit uncomfortable to point at positives. Because in leadership, your job is to be excited when there's crisis so that you can manage it. But when everything else goes well, you take a back seat and start thinking again properly. I would say we've only considered 4 goals. It's too early, I know. I don't want to point at that, but your question demands that I do. And we are the only team that has only considered 4. So defensively, I strongly believe we're still okay. The threat, yes, is there. We'll have to deal with it. And scoring, we've scored 12. One of the highest scoring teams. One of the least conceding teams. But still, there would be the element of, but nothing is happening. It depends on perspective, which you cannot change. Sometimes, if it's covered in a particular rep, irrespective of the content, it can never be.
Thanks, Coach. Right. Yeah, at some point, it had to come. Right. As I pointed out earlier, there will be a one-on-one session for interviews with both coaches and players, and I'll give you details on that before we close. We've also got a draw coming up, and I see there's a prize here for one lucky person from the media, so we'll get to that. But before we do, here's something from Vodacom.
Oh, yes! Oh,
Cindy, that's the 9th time you've played that, girl. We've got a tailor-made offer just for you.
Just for me?
Go ahead, download something new. Sub Dad, for a tough guy, you call Gogo a lot, and she loves to talk. So here's 60 megs and 60 minutes for only 12 Rand. Just dial *123 hash. Everyone can get tailor-made offers like these, made just for you. Dial *123 hash every day for something new. Vodacom, power to you.
Right, and speaking of good things and cell phones, at this point I would like to call on Musiri Siretlo, who's from Vodacom, to join me on stage and do the lucky media draw. Right, so the prize, while she fuduas, is a Vodafone Smart Ultra 6 cell phone, right here. So if your name is in the pot, here we go.
Mark Stadium.
Mark Stradum in the house, yes. Congratulations, Mark. You can come up and get your prize. Come on, don't be shy. I did not influence what happened. Well done. I did not influence what happened, no matter what tie I'm wearing. Right, I think at this point, we've come to the end of our proceedings. And And, obviously, once again, good luck to both teams ahead of the match on Saturday. The stats speak for themselves, but I think in the end, it's going to be the result that matters the most to fans and all the players. A special thanks to the Vodacom team. And of course, another thanks goes out to both clubs, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, for turning up today. And of course, you, the media. Thank you very much for all coming through to this Kaizer Chiefs Derby conference. And of course, the question remains, who will get the 3 points this coming weekend? Good luck to both teams indeed. I do have to point out, though, that you will have an opportunity as media to do one-on-one interviews with the players and the coaches. For TV, for the people from television, that's going to be out at Talk 100. And for print and online, that's going to be out at Talk 100 and 200. And for all the radio guys, it's going to be out at Talk 200. And then, of course, there will be a lunch as well for everybody. That will be in Gig Room 1 and Gig 2. Thank you very much and all the best. And as for the teams, we say good luck. And to you, thank you and travel safely.